All right, Evan, how you doing this week?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's been going on? Tell me. Talk to me.
Well, we just had Thanksgiving not that long ago, and
Right.
I had enjoyed it with my dad, and we went over to his parents' house, which is conveniently in Salisbury, and
Mm-hmm.
hung out with him, hung out with them. Some of my cousins were there. Some of my aunts and uncles were there. It was a good family bonding experience,
Mm-hmm.
and got to watch football throughout the day.
Sure.
Typical American thing.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, great food. My aunt made this really good. I forget what exactly it's called. It's like this garlic bread that she had,
Mm-hmm.
but there was also a little bit of like jalapenos mixed in there, like little bits in there, like melted cheese. It was delicious. She was very skeptical on it, and I was like, I'll give it a try. And
Right.
oh,
She made this herself.
yeah, she made it herself. It was very good. I had like 2 or 3 of them before the actual meal came in. I was starving, so I needed something. I
Right.
didn't want to wait much longer.
So is there any particular team you like to watch, or?
Well, I'm a Ravens fan,
Okay.
but they didn't play that day, and there was 3 games throughout the day, and really the first one was good. The other ones weren't quite as exhilarating,
Mm-hmm.
but that's okay. I was with my family, and I felt happy to see them, so it was awesome.
What's different this year? Because you have suggested in the past that you and your father don't get along too well, and now it seems as though your relationship seems to be improving. Do you?
Oh, it's improving a little bit, but I was really, I just meant I was happy that we were
Sure.
all, included together, and
Mm-hmm.
I really like his parents, and what made me happy was seeing my aunt and my uncle and their 2 kids for the first time within the past 2 or 3 years or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it was just an overall good vibe, and
Okay.
I just think that even though I've had my issues with depression and
Mm-hmm.
that sort of emptiness and loneliness for quite some time,
Right.
I do like the holidays. I think those are the type of days where you should always be positive, and I always have a good time when it's Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Mhm.
Those are my favorites.
Okay.
I just like the peaceful environment with my family, and I mean, with those certain types of days, I forget the troubles that I have.
Okay. And now that's a little unusual because a lot of times, Evan, this is the time of year when people sink into depression.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, this is
Oh, wow.
holidays can be very depressing for people because of a lack of family.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you've got some pretty good support. Sounds like you like the holiday.
Yeah, I do. I think part of it too. Even though it's not really the same anymore without my mother.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, wait. I think I did lie to you. Sorry. The only time that the holidays weren't a good time was that first
Okay.
Thanksgiving and Christmas without my mom.
Sure.
That felt weird because it just wasn't the same. And my mom liked Christmas more than like anybody that I knew.
Mm-hmm.
She absolutely loved it. She loved to shop.
Right.
She loved the whole Black Friday thing and,
Right.
and stuff like that. And
So it was special.
that first one wasn't the same. But then after that, I guess in a way it's never going to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess now that you think of it, it is a little unusual. But
Mm-hmm.
there's just something, I guess, magical about those 2 particular days.
Mm-hmm.
And I just was thinking to myself after that first one, I would, actually, I don't even know if that was the same for anybody. I think it was just a little odd with her not being there.
Sure.
But I was just thinking eventually after that, like, I can't let these 2 days ruin me since she's not here.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just thinking, she would really like it for me to enjoy it as the holidays itself. But yeah, I think eventually I grew into liking it again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that first one was a little off-putting,
Right.
but
That's normal. I don't think there's anything unusual about that. The first holiday after someone who's close to you passes, I would think it would be unusual if it wasn't kind of sad for you. So you, instead of like going into depression, you've decided to make the holiday special.
Yeah,
for Mom.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
As a remembrance.
Yeah, I guess it's really like a dedication towards her memory because she absolutely loved. I mean, she liked Thanksgiving too, but she really liked Christmas an awful lot.
Mm-hmm.
And even though she's passed for a couple of years, I still go over to see her side of the family during the Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes getting together is so complicated between two different sides of the family and scheduling everything, and we're all busy with our lives. And
what was special about Christmas that she liked?
She just liked giving out the presents. She spoiled the shit out of me growing up. So I kind of liked that. She liked giving out the presents. She really liked seeing the joy in people's faces, and she liked the whole Black Friday shopping thing before that, and she liked making food for that. She liked spending time with my dad's side, and she liked spending time with her side of the family. I just think that she just liked that whole holiday vibe, and she liked she liked to decorate the tree, and she liked to I guess decorate the house a little bit here and there, and I don't know, she was just very into it. So, I don't know.
I see. Okay, so it was just kind of a special time of year for her.
Oh yeah, yeah, very.
And you've sort of taken that on. Now, what does your dad think of the holiday? Does he have the same enthusiasm, or?
Oh no, he never really seemed to have cared that much.
Okay.
It was just kind of like whatever.
Okay, but he does go out to family functions.
Yeah, he goes to same thing she does his side. He still goes to see her side of the family too with me.
Okay.
I think at first it was a little awkward for him knowing that she wasn't there, but he's seeing her family, and I guess I could see that. But
okay, what was your relationship? What was the relationship like between your mom and your dad?
I think it was pretty good. I don't think it was perfect, but they just didn't really seem to have that much in common. But then again, they never really complained about each other all that much. And I mean, when she passed away, he was disgruntled by it. He was definitely feeling some type of way about it, as did I. And I would say it was good. I mean, there was no history of abuse or any sort of serious negativity. I would assume it was pretty good, but it's just one of those things where they just didn't have a whole lot in common, and So I mean, I guess it was good. So
they didn't. What do you mean they didn't have a lot in common?
Just different interests.
What were some of your mom's interests? You said obviously she was a giver.
Yeah. I mean, she liked to shop, and she'll a lot of times she likes to watch some of those like musical award shows and
and
stuff like that, and then that's actually another thing she liked about Christmas too. Was watching those Christmas shows like the Charlie Brown Christmas special and stuff like that. She just seemed to just be more kind of free spirited, and she liked. I wouldn't say she's like a gym fanatic, but she liked to run or walk on the treadmill a lot, and she liked going for walks. My dad was more of just kind of keeping to himself, playing the guitar a lot. He used to be a lot more social, but then he realized that he was drinking a little too much, so he just kind of stayed away from that and just kind of cut himself off from that sort of thing.
Okay.
But just different personalities, and he had his own friends, and she had hers. So. Yeah.
Okay. So, so he's a musician.
I don't know if I would say he is. I think it's just more like he just plays to himself, and
Okay.
He doesn't really talk about that much. It's just something. I think it's more of just a hobby for him.
Okay. So, last time we met, we talked about some of these, some of the little exercises in here. Were you able to find out anything about your application to Subway?
Yeah, they. What's today? Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. No, today's Monday.
Or today's Monday. They called me back. When did they call me back? They called me back Saturday, and they actually requested an interview.
Okay.
And they were like, I forget the guy's name. Yeah, well, whoever the manager was, he was just saying, like, hey, like, just looked into your application. We would just like for you to come in and do an interview with us. And I was like, oh, okay, I was pretty happy. I was like, that's awesome. So I'm going to go in there. I think I interview with them. I think I go in for them on Wednesday. Okay. I think it's like Wednesday at like noon or something like that.
Okay.
So I was pretty delighted to hear that. I was like, I thought they were never going to call me back. I was just well, actually, I don't know. He did say after Thanksgiving, but I was kind of like, just didn't really know. And I've looked into some GED stuff. Before I came here, I was just browsing online, and I'm going to go in and it's some sort of, I think it was some sort of GED preparation course or something at Warwick. So I'm going to, I think I have within a few weeks to sign up for that.
Okay.
And then it starts sometime after the Christmas break.
Okay.
So I guess whenever Warwick goes back to school, I think that's like mid-January or something like that.
Okay.
Or late January. I think that's when I start. I think from what the description told me, I think it was an 8-week. I think it was an 8-week course. I think we would go in there twice a week.
Okay. And this is a prep.
Yeah, it didn't specify the time. I'm hoping it's not early. I hate waking up in the morning, but yeah. So I'm really curious to see how that goes, and I have within a few weeks to sign up for that, and hopefully that course turn out really well and helps prepare me for the test, and hopefully I'll get that piece of paper.
So you've put an application in, you're taking some steps to GED.
Yeah.
Pretty good holiday.
Yeah.
So How is your depression right now on, say, a scale of 1 to 10?
When I came in here for that first session, I want to say it was about an 8.
Mm-hmm.
But with the way things have been looking lately, I'd probably say about a 5.
Okay.
Maybe like in the middle. Sometimes I'll still be a little sad here and there, and
Okay.
I mean I've been thinking about it, and there's been pros and cons, like you're saying. I had a good Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get an interview with Subway,
Mm-hmm.
and I found some GED test prep courses, and that's good. But the cons is I don't know how I'm going to do in this interview. I'm just wondering what sort of things I should do in order to make sure the interview goes smoothly and positive.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how I'm going to do with that GED course stuff. I haven't done anything school-related in a while.
Right.
So I'm hoping that the course won't be too strenuous for me. And, so there's some pros and cons there. I can't say I have that confidence, but I'm starting to feel better.
Well, it sounds like it, and it's why. What do you foresee may be a problem with the interview?
Well, I mean, I just haven't had a job in a while. I'm wondering if he'll look into that and ask me why.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if I should be completely honest with him about my depression.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the one positive thing is that he said that he liked that I've already been in that exact field and
Right.
the company and everything. So he noted that out right away when he called me
Mm-hmm.
back. So I do like that. That's a positive sign. And I mean, it said they needed people.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I would hope they would pick me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many other people applied. I don't know how many vacancies there are or anything like that.
Sure. You got experience.
And I put on there I was willing to work full time.
Mm-hmm.
Flexible hours. I was willing to just work a lot, and I'm just.
It sounds as though you're taking some steps in a very positive direction. You have, through. We talked about you wanting to find work and GED, but you've taken that ball and run with it on your own. I mean, I really haven't had to do much like pushing. It's like it's like as soon as you said that this is what you wanted to do, you just kind of went and did it.
Yeah. Well, I think talking to you helped a lot because it's an outside source. I got tired of my dad nagging on me, and I'm like, all right,
Okay.
I just need to come in here and see where that's going. And
Now what's his take on all this?
oh, he was pretty happy.
Okay.
I mean, he was actually pretty supportive. He just said, just these are steps in the right direction,
Mm-hmm.
and he was pretty supportive.
Good. So that's all. So right now things are going okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the one thing he did say was you got to apply to a lot more jobs, and I was like, well, I want to wait to see how this interview goes.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, all right, but if you don't get the job, you got to really look all over the place. And
What do you want to do
right now or in the future?
in the future?
I have absolutely no idea. I mean, I guess right now I'm just living by the moment. First things first, get the job, and then get the GED, and then
See where it goes from there.
see where it goes from there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea what you might like to do in the future? I mean, Evan, what if you get your GED and you're like, oh, maybe I'll go back to school. Maybe I'll go to Warwick. And
Do they? Yeah, I guess they do take students with GEDs, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they pretty much accept anybody.
Well, I don't know if I'd say that. But,
well, I mean, I guess unless you're a convicted felon or something. But,
yeah, that might kind of put the kibosh on being accepted there. So, but I mean, they have business classes, they have cooking classes, they have a lot of programs there. It's actually a relatively good community college, and you could do well.
You think so?
Yeah, I absolutely know so.
I just hate school. That's
what is it about school you don't like?
There's just too many people. It's boring.
But you said you wanted to, increase your social.
Yeah.
You might meet a girl. You might meet some people you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it would hurt you to take one class and just see. Take an English class or I don't know, something.
Yeah,
You really don't like school, huh?
No, I really don't.
Okay.
But at the same time,
Well, I mean, if you don't like it, if it's not something you want to do.
I want to at least get the GED first.
Okay. All right. Let's start there.
I want to at least get that first and then see what I can do with that, even though it's a GED. It's kind of
Yeah.
But it's better than nothing.
Absolutely. And I think that's the way to look at it is it's a step in a positive direction. I think it's better than nothing. It's going to put you in a position where you can start to have some options.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have at least a high school degree or a GED, your options are limited.
Yeah.
I mean, really. So I think this is all good stuff. So, were you able to look at any of the information that I gave you at all?
I haven't had a chance to run through it. I've just been so caught up with a bunch of stuff and everything, and okay. I plan on it. I really do. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I would suggest just taking a look at it. You don't have to, but I thought it might be beneficial for you to sit down and kind of go over some of this information because, Evan, the one thing you need to understand is you're not in this by yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not the only person in the world who has depression, and there's support out there. And I think by looking through this, what you'll find is, wow, there's been a lot of work done.
Yeah.
And I'm not the only one. And as we were saying earlier, you're already moving in a good direction.
Yeah.
I've the number of people I've worked with who have a diagnosis of depression, they don't normally take this kind of. They're not this proactive. Put it that way. They don't. Without some real prompting. So I have to give you a lot of credit for that.
Oh, thank you.
You seem as though you with some pushing from your dad. You seem as though you want to be a better Evan. You went from an 8 to a 5. As far as a scale goes, that's a drop. So I would just suggest to take a look at some of this information so that I'm not by myself. I'm not alone. There are support groups. There's actually a depression. I think it's called DA, Depressions Anonymous. They meet Monday nights, I think, at North Shore Friends, which is near the Wawa on the curve there. I don't know if that's something you'd be interested in or not. But, what would be beneficial is to see that you're not alone. And you have options. Don't hem yourself in. You're only 26, so you've got a ways to go. So Let me ask you a question.
Oh, it's the session over already?
Well, I did 25 minutes because I wanted to kind of wrap it up.
Oh, okay. I know you have other clients coming in, so.
Well, it's not just that. It's just that let's get some direction here.
Okay.
You're going for an interview. You're checking out the GED.
Yep.
You seem to be getting along a little better with your dad. Okay, it's a holiday season, which you said you like. So you've got some good stuff going on. Spend some time if you get a chance.
Yeah, I need to look at that.
Well,
before I come in for the next session.
If you want to, I'm not. This is not a.
Well, yeah, I know you're not forcing me to.
No, absolutely not. I would focus on kind of the shoulds, the tyranny of shoulds.
Yeah, I think you showed me that last time we were here, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
we looked at that. We also looked at common irrational beliefs. So, excuse me. Take a look at this, and what this will let you know, Evan, is that people should have the same values and belief as me. So what you'll find is, as you go through this list, is a lot of people have very irrational beliefs, and they hold them as sacred.
Yeah.
And they think that my thinking is the right way.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, what that does is it tends to limit your options.
Yeah.
And you can become very, what's the word I'm looking for? Just narrow in your view. Your whole view will become narrow because it's like, this should happen, this should happen, this should happen. If these things don't happen, I'm awful. And that's, what I'm hoping is that we're moving towards you not thinking that. And to hopefully you'll get this job.
Yeah, I hope so too.
You'll get the GED. These are things that, I'm fully confident that you'll be able to do.
Wow, thank you.
So, all right. So let's do this. We'll meet again next week. Is this a good time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next week, same time.
Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good. All right. I'll see you in a week. And